You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Keys to the City. I'm your host, Trevor Keys, alongside the big brother T3, Ted Keys. What's up, man? Not much. It's
What's
exciting
good,
time
man?
right now. It's an exciting day. It's a Tuesday. You would think.
Imagine a Tuesday in October. We got 32 hockey teams playing tonight.
But like,
First ever.
but like Newman once said, Tuesday has no feel. Tuesday really doesn't have a feel.
You know, Taco Tuesday.
Tuesday does, but if you think about it during the week, think about it.
Monday has a Tuesday fun day because
no, but think about it. Monday has a feel.
Yeah,
Wednesday, you're like, you're almost there. Thursday, you're like, okay, now you're teasing me. Friday, you're there. You're finally like party time. Saturday, like, yeah, okay, we're gonna get going. And then Sunday is like, oh shit, back to reality.
Well, yeah, because it's weird because like Monday you got the football and you got the hangover from the weekend, which you can still maintain. And
I mean,
Tuesday's
you still get hangovers.
No, but Tuesday you still have. Tuesday,
are you sure about that?
Yeah,
I know you're older, and we don't drink as much.
Tuesdays are kind of like a weird day. Wednesday fun day. We used to have a lot of Wednesday fun days.
Yeah,
that was always
Wednesday. We've had a fun day every day of the week.
And Thursday used to be like college night. Thursday night.
Well, be realistic. We've had a fun day every day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday? Oh, yeah. I definitely had a fun Tuesday.
Yes, we have. I can remember. I remember times. I remember times. But yeah, Tuesday, like it's a Tuesday, a week before Halloween.
Game 7.
And we got a lot of sports going on tonight. I mean, I'm wearing my Mamba and my Mambacita hoodie because the LA Lakers start their season tonight against the defending champs, 7:30 on TNT. And then you get the huge matchup, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and a huge showdown tonight. No Bradley Beal. So at the end of the show, I'll just give you, I'll ask quickly your NBA Finals, your winner, and give me an MVP if you want to. We'll try to talk as much basketball as we can this year. Just hoping that it's kind of weird because basketball, like there's not much, it's the same. It kind of just, you go through the motions with it. And then once the, kind of like MLB, once you get past All-Star break, that's when things start to pick up.
Dude, you got some good, interesting NFL games this weekend. I'm just looking at the schedule.
But we could say anything we want about the other sports when it kind of is slow. The NFL, that's one thing that never will happen with the NFL. No matter how many people want to complain about something each and every week, the NFL, there's always something going on. No, and it's nonstop. And that's the great thing about it. I get it. It's football. It stands out from the other sports, but in the sense of just the movement, it's moving every day. There's something going on nonstop, whether it's an injury, whether it's a trade, whether it's a coach saying something, a player saying something. It's always nonstop, and you're always on top of it. Where baseball and basketball, you kind of wait. Hockey's the same thing. You kind of just wait and wait until like after All-Star break. Not in the NFL. Maybe it's just because of the fact that there is 17 games compared to the other leagues where there's 82 in hockey and in basketball. And then you get the good old 162 in the MLB. But yes, Game 7's tonight. NBA season starts tonight as well. Hockey's got all 32 teams. And then last night we had an upset on Monday night. Kirk Cousins winning in prime time against the San Francisco 49ers. You can check out also Keys to the City on all social media platforms. So like and subscribe to Keys to the City. That is KEYESTW. And then if you can't spell the and the city, well, you're SOL then. But I was just talking about last night, San Fran. And talk about this NFL season as a whole. I get it. We're about to hit week 8. It technically is the halfway point, but technically isn't the halfway point because you got the week 17 now. So you're thinking, when do you actually decide when the NFL season, Ted? When is the actual halfway point of the NFL season? Because of now 17 games.
I would say
Is it this week? Is it after week 8? Is it
this week?
A week from today? Is a week from today where it's Halloween? The trade deadline's a week away. Huge trade deadline after, especially yesterday. You're going to start seeing probably one of those teams that are looking to get to a Super Bowl, making big splashes like the Eagles just made another huge splash and stealing a star player from the Tennessee Titans. Kevin Byrd is going to the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
So we talked about last night's game, Kirk Cousins winning, and how this season has played out, Ted. It's to me, it's been a memorable year. There's been a lot going on, but there's also been a kind of a negative hit towards the NFL because of the fact of how many injuries that have played out, big time players being injured, being kept out for some time. And then you get in the involvement of referees again. It seems like more and more each and every year that the NFL refs are taking over games. And it's just nonsense, especially the Sunday night game where you saw a lot of non-calls towards the Dolphins. But we're at the halfway point, Ted. And we're going to post this on our Instagram and on our Facebook pages soon. It's going to be I kind of been writing down these lists for the past couple weeks, and I'm breaking it into tiers of the NFL. So we're at the halfway point. And right now, to me, you got to break it down into tiers, bro. You got to break down the NFL right now into tiers. It's just that simple. It's 8 weeks. We have enough, I guess, screen time for these teams to know who's real, who's just there to just be a little fake ass team. So let's get to it. I'm going to go through this list of what it is. Like I said, we're going to post it after the show on our Instagram and on our Facebook pages. So for more people to comment, let it rip.
Do you have the picture?
I have the picture. I have it right here.
Oh, but you don't have the.
I don't actually have the picture up.
Are you able to pull it from Messenger and put it on it?
I could try. I'd have to let you talk, but I know that could be hard for you sometimes, is to talk a lot. Unless you want to take it away while I try to figure this out, while I try to go Dr. Scientist. If you want me to go Dr. Scientist, I could do it. If you want to start talking, I was just going to give you my list quickly. Well, and then I'll try to bring it up.
Here's what I will say. You made this list, all right? And you sent it to me on Monday. Okay. You sent me the list and you're like, what do you think? You wrote it on a piece of paper as what you were going to show everyone in that black and white ink of yours. And you're like,
what do you mean? I wasn't going to show it in this. I specifically
I would have done it in Sharpie. I would have done it in Sharpie with highlighters.
Yeah, but I specifically wrote it out and then we can
just in case I told you were wrong, you'd have to change it. So
but right now I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
Right now you said, now we're talking about this today, which is kind of funny considering what just happened the last 2 games. But your Super Bowl caliber teams, there was only 4 teams, right? And we had 2 in the AFC and 2 in the NFC. Now, you said this. You said, do you agree or disagree? I said I agree. I said there is it's weird. I have this niche or likeness for the Bengals. Now, we have them in the next category right below the Super Bowl caliber. Then when we say Super Bowl caliber, we feel like those 2 teams on either conference should be the leaders. And what those 2 teams are, which I think after seeing this week, the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. And I think if there's one team that they should be scared about playing other than the usual Bengals, it's the Ravens.
I'm gonna put it up right now. I have it. Hopefully it's big enough for the screen because it might still show.
If it's not, it's still fine. It doesn't matter.
So this is what my This is what my tiers.
What if we do it this? Hold on, can we do this? Let's see. Nah, we still look ugly. That's okay.
Why don't we just take each other off the screen and let people?
Hey, look, I can fit on my side. That works.
Hold on, I think I can make this work.
Too bad you can't move the pictures. That's the one thing that you can't move. It doesn't really matter.
I'm trying to make. Oh, there we go. So we're out. We're talking. So here's the list right now. Forget about it. We'll keep it like this for now. Let's run with it. So here is how I know it's awful. We can't see us 2 beautiful studs, young Italians over here, but we can run with it. No, what are you doing?
Hold on. Just keep talking.
No, keep it going. You're killing me. Just keep it. Stop touching things.
I'm just trying to see.
Stop. Oh, there's me now. No, I don't want just me.
Just keep it like this. I was just trying to see my.
This would have been nice if we had me and
you. Too bad. That's what I'm saying. I was just trying. Too bad.
Okay. Well. So okay. So we'll get to it. Okay. So here we go.
Yeah. Then we can switch out because then I can go like this.
No, we don't want you in.
There you go. There we go.
Now we get you.
See, well, you know what we got to do.
It's a battle for screenplay.
Yeah, that's okay.
So let's go. Okay. So here's how I broke it down into my lists, and like I said, we will post it on our social media pages. So Super Bowl, I had Eagles, Chiefs, 49ers, and the Ravens. The above average teams that are right there, but yet still missing a piece or 2 to maybe getting to that Super Bowl caliber. I have the Jags, Cowboys, Seahawks, Lions, Bills, Dolphins, and the Bengals. The average teams, to me, these are teams that have potential down the road, but right now they're kind of just blah. They're just they're like in the middle. They're in the middle of the pack. Literally. I got the Falcons, I got the Steelers, I got the Rams, Jets, Browns, Colts, Chargers, and the Texans. Then you got the below average teams fighting, but still just not good enough week in and week out. You got the Titans. Yes, the Vikings had a big win, but right now they're still, to me, either average or below average until Justin Jefferson comes back. And then that can change everything. I got the Saints in there. The Giants, yeah, I know you might rip me because I'm being a homer on that pick, a little biased. But if that defense can start continuing to play like they have the past couple weeks, this team with a little more health coming back could maybe slip in to the playoffs. Washington, Green Bay. Ted, what do you think of this list when we think about it? The bad, well, there's a reason they're bad.
Bad. So
I'm gonna take the picture off for now. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we can go back. Oh
yeah, give me big. There you go. Give me the big screen.
Yeah, that's okay. So listen, I was working it well. I was trying to configure.
Ted was all over the place. I don't know where he was going. He was trying to really get himself in there.
In the side corner, and then I was going to bring myself over when I talk, so it would cut you out and bring me back in. Now I want to get back to my point of what we were talking to in the beginning before you rudely interrupted me when I was talking about the things.
Oh, like I haven't heard that for 3 effing years from you, or not 3 years, 7 years. It's been like that,
dude. You're trying to make up for lost time. It's never going to happen. Okay. Here's the real thing. All right. Let's start with, because no one really cares about the bad teams. All right. We know they're bad. Eventually we'll talk about them come up in about a month or two when we're talking about the NFL draft. All right. We know the teams suck. Now it's kind of funny though. You look at the teams this week, Denver, Patriots, Bears, Giants, who would have been in the bad, Minnesota.
Did you say the Broncos?
I did say the Broncos. They all won this weekend.
All won.
The Raiders played the Bears. They all won. So some of the bad teams really won. Now Carolina was off. Arizona.
But this is just because of 1 week changes everything. That doesn't mean anything. This is how it's been playing to me.
I think the Saints have an issue. I think Derek Carr is the issue. There's way too much talent on that team for that team to be as poorly played or as bad as they are. The defense is top 5 defense. They got way too many weapons on the offense. But I don't really want to talk about that because I don't really care. Honestly, I don't care until one of those teams makes a move in the next couple of weeks. I want to talk about the above average and Super Bowl caliber teams because those are the teams that we're going to be talking about in January and February. All right. Super Bowl caliber. I think the Ravens are dangerous, bro. I think they finally have it all. They have the defense. Roquan Smith's trade last year is panning off for them. He is dominant. He's phenomenal. They're very good on all levels of the defense, secondary, pass rush. I think their defense right now is rated number 1 in the NFL. Listen, you can just keep us. You don't need to put the caliber. We'll send out the picture. Take the banner.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah,
you're the one that
I know.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm just doing what you did, and this is what I
know.
Get.
You know what's funny? It's too bad. Like, if we brought in Joe, or if we had like the third person trial thing and had that as the third, like, ooh, hey everybody. But I think the Ravens showed a little bit something this week against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the running game. And Lamar I don't think people are realizing how well Lamar is playing this year at quarterback and through the passing game. And you figure once he gets those connections and I think you perfectly said it the other day, man, if they can go make a trade for a big time receiver, like imagine if they got Devontae Adams. Now I know.
Would they add a running back?
I don't think they
go get Derrick Henry or something.
Do they need a running back? Or you want to?
I mean, you're gonna run. You could run with Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. I guess it's a right to have. But if they went to go get
Derrick Henry fit that backfield, maybe.
I mean, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
Here's the thing: Kansas City is the best team in the AFC. I'm sorry, they got Mahomes, who's the best quarterback in the league. Their defense is dominant. Yes, they're going to take a little hit. Nick Bolton's going to be out for 6 weeks. I saw that yesterday.
That's a big if.
That's a big if. But they're playing phenomenal, and Spags has got them clicking on all cylinders. So there's really nothing you can say about the Chiefs right now. All right.
I mean, Lamar's throwing. He's 71% completion percentage right now.
I think after what I saw last night, Eagles are the best team in the NFC. And we could knock them, say, they've been up and down. They're the best team. Their offensive line is still the best in football. No one can stop the tush push or the brotherly love shove or whatever you want to call it. But no one can stop it. So if it's like Sirianni said, we're playing fourth and 9 every time. Because if we get to 1 yard, we're getting the first down.
It's the most automatic play in football.
All right, and then I think, I get it. Last night, San Francisco lost. Purdy didn't look that great. They didn't defensively in the secondary really poor last night. Cousins looked like an all-pro last night, but they were missing Debo and Trent Williams. But listen, a lot of teams are missing people. Justin Jefferson wasn't playing for the Vikings either, and so we're not going to make excuses for anyone in this football league. But I think right now, when you look at those 4 teams, yes, I would say those 4 teams are your upper echelon, right? There's your 2 teams in the AFC, 2 teams in the NFC. No, Trev, let's get into that next part, that above average. That's where I think we can have a better discussion about everything else and where those teams separate themselves from the average teams. I mean, I see you had the Falcons in there. See, it's so
Above
funny.
average. I didn't have them in the above average.
You have them in average. You had them in
I
average.
have them in average.
I said the difference between the above average and average.
Okay.
Like the Steelers find a way to win games, but they've gone.
But their defense is so legit. Their offense is so inept at times.
The total yards, the difference between them and the teams that played is like 600 yards. Like they've been out total yard gained every game this season.
Yeah.
We know what Dallas brings, right? If Dak can play like he did against the Chargers, they have a chance. They have a chance to make a Super Bowl run. They have the defense that can carry them. Seattle, do they have enough defensively? Do you trust Geno? The Lions, listen, they're playing great, but I think, like we always say, Trev, do we have enough faith in the Lions? Are they going to put up a dud like they did this weekend? Bills, I think the Bills got some issues. I think the Bills got some real issues because right now, other than Diggs and Josh Allen,
are they in the above average category or are they in the average?
They're definitely above average. They're definitely above average.
Okay.
I just think you look at the last couple of weeks, they lost to the Jags. They should have lost to the Giants, but they didn't. And like we talked about last week, good teams find a way to win. Bad teams don't, even if you want to blame the refs.
What are the Bills a good team? Like when I think of good teams
here's the thing. The Bills get into the playoffs.
Okay, I get it. When I think of a good team right now, I think of the Eagles. I think of the Chiefs. I think of the Ravens. Like,
okay,
I even think like when you think
the Bills right now. Well, the Jags did.
Oh, the Jags did.
Miami got crushed by.
If they're all playing on their A game, it all depends. Are we talking are we talking neutral? Are we talking on the road? Are we talking? If I had to put the Bills in that category, the teams I would have over them in that situation, I'd probably have the Bengals. Because we already saw them do it. We already saw them do it.
But they haven't played like it so far this season.
That's true. I would probably I'd take my chances with the Lions.
What about Dallas and Jags? Because Jags already did beat them. Jags beat them.
Dallas, for me personally, you know how I feel about Dallas. Like I just think Dallas most of the time.
So you're saying Miami's the worst team in that above average group?
Seahawks.
Yeah, that's what I was going to think.
Seahawks are the worst.
I was just trying to catch you.
The Seahawks would be the worst. Then the Bengals, if you're putting record-wise specifically, but I'm looking at the outlook too towards the future. I think this team's going to get healthy. They're coming off the bye. Joe Burrow is going to be a lot better now. You could see him. He started to feel his own. But Seahawks are interesting because of the fact that they do have the weapons offensively. Their defense is playing very well all around. Like Devon Witherspoon, man. Man, he might have a real strong case for defensive rookie of the year. But that above average is like, those are the teams to me that I'm like, okay, they're there, but you're still missing like a piece or two where I think you put the Eagles are the most complete team of football. The one spot that they were really looking to add a piece to, they just did that, and they just got one of the best safeties in football. The Chiefs, as long as Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Travis Kelce are there, and this defense is playing well, I know they took a huge hit with Nick Bolton, the Chiefs aren't going anywhere. The Niners, I'm not worried about the Niners. I know they're on a 2-game losing streak, on the road in both games, should have beaten the Browns if Moody hits the kick. Dealing with injuries, they're dealing with the Hall of Fame left tackle out right now. They're dealing with one of the best playmakers in football too. I get it. Everybody's dealing with injuries, but when this team is fully healthy, other than the Eagles, they're the most complete team in football. We've been saying that. So all of a sudden we're not because they've lost 2 games. It happens. It happens to teams like that. Who cares? The Ravens, Lamar Jackson stays healthy. They added Devontae Adams. They added Derrick Henry.
Do you listen? Think about the 2 losses.
Good
Pittsburgh
luck.
Game was one of those ones where
that's a game that's let slip away.
They should have beat Pittsburgh. They should have beat. Excuse me.
They slip it away. They slip it away.
I'm excited. Pittsburgh should have won that game by 27 points. Shouldn't have been. Baltimore should have. Excuse me. Shouldn't have even been close. I just don't get it. Pittsburgh always seems to find a way to get Baltimore when Pittsburgh absolutely is not good at all.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that they're not good.
Yeah.
It's just Pickett doesn't take them over top. It's kind of like the question with, like Cousins and Purdy. I feel like that same thing. Dak Prescott. Like, I feel like that's what a Pickett guy is. Kenny Pickett really is. he's good, but he's not good enough. I think
Yeah.
the having Deontay Johnson come back off IR is definitely going to help them now with him and Pickens, and they got a two-headed running back in Warren and oh my god, ooh, I'm drawing a blank.
Najee
Najee
Harris.
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. So listen, I think Pittsburgh's a dangerous team. You look at I'm looking at the schedule this week, right? You got Buffalo and Tampa on Thursday night. Listen, I feel like Buffalo should be angered and take care of Tampa this week. Rams and Dallas.
Short week though, right now.
Yeah, Rams and Dallas, interesting game. The Rams have played a lot of teams tough this year. Had some tough breaks. Dallas.
You're not gonna go through every game, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking of the tough Dallas and the Rams. I'm just.
I know how you like to ramble, and we could be here for a while with this.
New England and Miami play this week. So does Miami, regain?
The thing so when I'm looking at this list, right? No, because I don't care
said,
about every game right now.
I'm not. I'm trying to 4 or 5. Hold on, I skipped like 4 or 5 games. Okay, the Giants and Jets play this weekend, which we eventually need to talk to. If we don't talk now, we'll talk about it later this week, hopefully, if I have any time. Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, they play this week. I sent you the PFF. If the standings were going to end today, they'd be playing in the playoffs against each other. Remember, it was Buffalo, Miami, Pittsburgh, and Jacksonville, and the Browns and the Ravens. That's a team, though, I just went through while you were talking before. I just went on ESPN and went to their power rankings for Week 8. Did you see what their top 10 was?
No.
Can I just read them off real quick to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Chiefs were 1, obviously. Number 2 was Philly. 3, they moved to San Francisco. I don't like the 4. 4 is Miami.
No.
5 is Baltimore. I would have had Baltimore in front of Miami. Jacksonville 6, Dallas 7. Here's where we could have a conversation. They have Cleveland 8, Detroit 9, Buffalo 10, 11 Seattle, 12 Pittsburgh, 13 Cincinnati. And I didn't want to go any farther because that's where you started having your list. You know what I mean? With Jacksonville, Dallas, Seattle.
So when I look at my
list, they had the Bengals, the worst team of that group of teams. And they had the Browns in the top 10.
For me specifically, I just think with the Bengals coming back a bye, I feel like they're going to get Higgins back fully healthy. Joe Burrow is going to fully, you would think, come back to Joe Burrow like. The defense has been playing solid. If the offense could get it going, getting Joe Mixon more involved in the offensive line, they could try to figure that issue out. I mean, we've seen what the Bengals can do. I mean, the past couple of years. They should be there at the very end, if not the winning the whole damn thing. They're that talented everywhere on the whole roster. But it's funny because when you look at that, yeah, they got a huge matchup against the 49ers on the road. So we'll have to see how the Bengals. They have a huge game against
but I just said Cleveland also plays at Seattle. So we're talking about these are the teams where you and me have kind of put in that upper.
My biggest thing when I was doing this, it was like just because of how the outlook or preseason outlook was, to have the Texans in my average list is shocking because of, well, to be honest, we didn't think the Houston Texans would be in this situation that they are. We thought they'd be in the tanking situation and just trying to look to get a top 5 pick this year and add talent to it. The Chargers is the other one because you would have thought coming into this year with all the talent that the Chargers have. We talked about all these teams, the great talent they have. The LA Chargers, there's no real explanation for it. All I could say is this has been the past 20 years. This is just the story of the
first round, and he has like no catches.
This is just the story of the. This is just the story of the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers franchise the past 20 years.
And it isn't Herbert's fault.
No, Herbert has to be better in big time moments.
When your defense 32nd in the league,
and
yards and points and everything else, and then they're just not good. Because if you think about it, what do the Chargers do well? They don't run the ball well. Eckler's on the team. They don't run the football, which is funny. They can't run the football. They lost their big deep threat in Mike Williams. All right, Keenan Allen solid. They drafted the number 1 rookie in Quentin Johnson. He's just nowhere to be found. Josh Palmer's really the second guy. The defense is the highest paid defense, I believe, in the league this year, with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack and Derwin James, Kenneth Murray, and well, they did have J.C. Jackson, but they traded him.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, how is this defense this awful? Like, Joey Bosa, wake up. I think
they've either gotten worse or they stayed the same for the past since Brandon Staley's taken.
And here's the thing, like we've talked before, because I kind of been always on the Chargers bandwagon the last couple of years, like, oh, Herbert, the team, like the talent. Like, this is like a fantasy team. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Eckler, Herbert, like Bosa, Mack, like this is like if you were making a team like this is Rashawn Slater, like this is the guys you want on
But
your
that's what
team.
I've been saying the past 20 years. That's
That's
how the
coaching.
Los Angeles
That is
Chargers
coaching.
have.
This
Yeah.
team should have no wins this season. Minnesota should have beat them. And who was the other one that they came back and won? They should have lost. It really doesn't matter. They should have no wins.
I forgot
That
who
team.
they. I really forgot who they lost to or who they beaten. They're 2-4 right now, and I mean when you like you said, it's been like that for the past 20 years though. At least I give
brother, this guy stinks.
like Dallas. I give them credit because yes, they've had the talent. They've never, I guess, catapulted themselves to winning a Super Bowl and gotten to the position, but they've at least made the playoffs. They've at least been pretty consistent in the sense of getting to the playoffs. It's just when you look at this Chargers team, man, it's just the same old BS, same old story. It's the same old story. It's the same old story every year for the past 20 years. Sure. I've been saying since the Sunday night football game against the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday Night Football, for them to miss the playoffs, I've been saying that Brandon Staley should have been fired that moment. To see him still the head coach of this team and how bad this defense is, knowing that he's a defensive-minded coach, there's no reason for Brandon Staley to still be the coach. Let Kellen Moore take over. Let him be the interim head coach. And if they flourish with this offense with him as the guy, then you long-term him. Then you got a quarterback that you just signed the biggest contract almost in the history of the NFL up until Joe Burrow. And right now, yes, he has played all right. He hasn't played to the level that we expect an elite quarterback to be. And this is kind of the same argument that people have said that this is what Justin Herbert was in college as well. Had all the tools to be a Heisman Trophy winner. Just never panned out. Whether it was Oregon, whether it was the coaching staff of
quarterback for a coach,
I get it. But also the quarterback when you're that supposed to be in. Okay, but when you're in that level of being
I know, I get it. He's been outscored.
In that discussion.
So if you score 30, the defense gives up 34. How is that your fault?
Well, that game against
doesn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, because
Burrow's defense.
Because his defense is because their defenses are far more superior.
Josh Allen has to do a hell of a lot more than Justin Herbert.
Oh, I get it. But look at the Bills right now.
They got
looks like that window's starting to close and get a little tighter now on that. I don't know what to make of the Buffalo Bills moving forward. Right now, they could be 3-4. Very. I mean, honestly, they could be 3-4. I know we talked about the Chargers and stuff. Though I feel like, but when you look at these lists, those are the teams you talk about. The Bills. The Bills have been in this Super Bowl window since 4 or 5 years now.
No, 3 years.
Okay, I'll go 4. I'll go 4 years. Realistically, 4 years,
right?
I'll be going about
4 years.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, I'll go about 4 years. It's going to be 2024 in 3 months. So 4 years now, and it hasn't amounted to anything. The Chargers. We've heard every year, the Chargers, they're going to be the dark horse to win the AFC, to win the AFC West. They're going to take grasp of that division, and they're going to compete with Patrick Mahomes. And it's just been the complete opposite. It's more questions asked that you don't have enough answers to be answered. You don't have the answers for it. It's fascinating because you just look through the list. The Jets got a defense that you can win a Super Bowl with if they just figure out their quarterback situation and their offense. Then we'll see. Steelers, same kind of situation, and get rid of their offensive coordinator. Colts. The Colts have talent. The Colts are a hard, nitty-gritty type of group of players. We'll see how they make out without Richardson for the rest of the year. Gardner Minshew, not bad. My team that I think can be in the sense of maybe almost above average, and it all depends on their quarterback. I know it sounds crazy. It's the Cleveland Browns. Because the Cleveland Browns, Ted, they have a Super Bowl caliber defense. If their quarterback we all want to talk about Daniel Jones's contract. Well, just look at what's happening in Cleveland right now. What they traded for, what they signed him for, and for him to be nothing, not even half of what he was in Houston, don't bring up the name Daniel Jones is a bad contract compared to Deshaun Watson, Brown fans, because that is an awful contract right now. Do you have any other disagreements?
No, I was thinking about what you were saying, and I told you
Should the Giants be in the below average or bad? Is that just me being
the
a
only
homer?
thing that's saving them from being in bad is the last 2 weeks. That they could have had 2 more wins, that they should have that they beat the Bills and they beat the Washington. I don't know what that says when they beat Washington, because if you look at the game, there was plenty of times where Washington could have beat the Giants. They had a missed field goal. There was a couple opportunities.
Yeah, but that's credit to the defense.
Yeah, listen, we can go back in this all the time. Referee doesn't call a foul. This guy misses a block, this and that. Listen, it is what it is. I mean, last night, you look at the 2 touchdowns. The one that touched on Jordan Addison, he pulled it out of Tre'Davious Ward's hand, and the other one, Ward pulled it out of his hands. So, you flip those, they don't happen, vice versa. Listen, 49ers lose to the Bengals. Moody misses the kick at the end of the game. Browns beat the 49ers. Right? Last night, Moody missed a kick again. And who knows, maybe Purdy doesn't force the ball late in the game and they kick a game-win field goal and win 23-22. So
does that concern you with the Niners?
Well, yeah, it concerns me that Moody's missing kicks because they're so used to having Robbie Gould, I know.
Robbie Gould.
But Robbie Gould was consistent, bro. 40 yards in, he was drilling them all the time. And clutch, man, need that kicker.
Is there any dark horse in the NFC, or is that just? I mean, did we
Listen,
get
bro,
maybe?
I told you it's a 4-team race in the NFC. It's the 2 top tiers with 49ers and Eagles, and then it's Detroit and Dallas. That's it.
Yeah, but how serious do you take? I mean, Detroit. I guess maybe that was us jumping the gun, kind of like with the Dolphins.
Well, here's the thing. Let's see how the rest of the season plays. Right now, I put the tier. We talked about it. Detroit has a favorable schedule going forward. There's a legit chance that they could have a 1 or 2 seed, but right now the Eagles are the best team. And they just got a lot better with bringing Kevin Byard over to play safety, which they were having struggle in the secondary. It's like, all right, well, you already have Darius Slay and Bradbury. You already have like 8 great defensive linemen. Jalen Carter, 8 teams are going to be pissed off they passed on that guy again, which I knew he was going to be good. Now, of course, I think he's good because of the players he's playing with.
The system he's in, too.
It's like playing at Georgia. When you got 4 first-round players next year, of course you could be dominant. If he had to be the guy, I don't think he would be as dominant. I still think he'd be really great. Maybe he would. But I just think when you have like, all right, well, I got Brandon Graham here, and I got Jordan Davis here, and I got Hassan Reddick on this side, and I got this guy and that guy, it's like
everything runs smoother.
They can't double team me, and I can have my one-on-ones where he's dominant. But the Eagles are the best team. And Hurts
are they the best team in the league right now? After 8 weeks, who's the best team in the league?
Them Chiefs.
If you had to pick one, who's the best team in the league right now?
I would take the Eagles only because I like their weapons. Like A.J. Brown looks like an MVP candidate right now. He's been unbelievable. You know about that in fantasy. 5 straight games, 125 yards plus.
I can't believe you kept saying nonsense last night. Like I was trying to trade you A.J. Brown. Like,
you said you were going to trade him. Or Mike Evans, you're like,
I would have traded. It's more likely I would have traded Mike Evans.
Like AJ Brown's not doing nothing for me. Like I'm gonna.
It was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks.
You were gonna trade him.
I was looking to trade him, but not to you.
I'll trade him for Garrett Wilson.
Straight up. Yeah, I was joking around with you. I want to see if you get excited.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed in my boy Calvin Ridley this year. Hasn't done shit for me. And Garrett Wilson. That's
a lot of people. Though.
Now I'm third. I don't know if you saw. I'm third place in our fantasy league.
Yeah, but a lot of our league right now is great. I mean, you got 2 5-2 teams, and then
Deshaun,
everybody else is like either.
Is Jack Deshaun?
Yeah, I'm 3 and 4.
I'm one of your roommates this week. I'm gonna beat the other roommate this week.
And you beat me already.
Yes, take it down, Tampa.
You got lucky, man. You were 100. You scored 170 points that week.
I scored 141 against Frank this week.
I scored 140 points against you, and I still lost by 30 points. What am I supposed to do about it?
You realize I was looking at Mikey Gaggs' team, who's the #1 team in the league.
I'm playing him this week.
Listen, do you see the point value of the teams he's played against this year?
No.
So you can go to when you go to standings, right? And you can see the scores, like how many points you scored compared to your opponents you played. Hold on, it's loaded. Mikey Gaggs, right? What is he? 6-1. He scored a total of 819 points so far this year. I've scored 881. And the other guy in second place scored 901. Guess how many? The points he played against this year? 677.
Wow.
Yeah, the teams I played this year have scored 810. Actually,
how's my team look? My team's gonna get good. My team's
Where's
starting
the
to get
goal? You scored 845 points.
my team is starting.
And you've given up 887.
My team is gonna get good though.
So right
Take care
now,
of my team because I'm getting Brees Hall fully back. Brees Hall's off by. Getting Jamar Chase off by. Jahmyr Gibbs had a huge game last week. AJ Brown is on a historic trajectory. My team's looking good. My receivers, Jordan Addison, scored 30 points last night.
Do I start Dallas's defense against the Rams or the Giants' defense versus the Jets? That's the bigger question.
Is that really you're not going to go look to get another defense? Why am I trying to help you?
I'm playing your roommate. I got to be your roommate.
Speaking of the Giants,
let's
talk about that.
So yeah, no, but that's real talk.
That's real talk.
And
what's real? What was real talk that we just talked about?
And my other league, I beat the number 1 team this week, and last week I beat the number 2 team last week.
Well, I'm number 1. I'm tied for number 1 in the other league. I'm 5-2, and that team isn't even close to my caliber of the team that I have in our league, and I'm 3-4. Figure out how I'm 3-4 with the team that I have right now.
You stink.
I don't stink. My team is better. I think my team is as good as anybody on paper. I got Justin Herbert as my quarterback. I got C.J. Stroud as my backup if I wanted to. He's been great. Jahmyr Gibbs, he's going to start taking off now with Montgomery out for a few.
Oh, guess who's the number 1 team? Guess who's the number 1 team in that other league?
I'm trying to talk to you.
This guy.
I'm trying to talk to you. Okay, I'm trying to talk to you though. Listen to my team. Just listen.
Okay, what team is this? The other league?
Our league.
Oh,
my team is nasty on paper. I don't know what you're talking about. I think my team is nasty on paper, but that's why it's like all projections. I only project something. Dad's calling me right now. Wants to know what's up. So let's talk. Let's talk more. Let's talk some more real talk. New York Giants, New York Jets.
My other team? The other team I have Amon St. Brown, Olave, Chase, Addison, and Keenan Allen.
Didn't I tell you to draft all these guys?
Well, here's the thing. I drafted those 2. Remember?
Oh, yeah. So you won't even deny it. It's the truth. I helped you.
Yeah. I took Chase, then Olave, and Amon St. Brown. And then I picked up Jordan Addison late in the draft. Keenan Allen I drafted because I wanted to team him up with Herbert. But my running backs are awful. So that's okay. Damian Pierce was Jerome Ford, but he's out right now.
Go pick up Kareem Hunt.
My main running back, who I can't believe I got him, but he's on IR right now. Kyron Williams from the Rams.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. And then,
look at, dude, my bench is even.
And then Roshan Johnson. Now I get it. People are going, what are you playing in a 4-person league? No, it's a 10-person league.
Oh, my God. Mom is calling me now, too. Is something going on? Something happened. I got a call from cousin Lori. I got a call from mom, and I got a call from dad. Something going on that we don't.
Talk to them at all today?
No. No, we're not talking about this on the show right now. We're not talking about this on the show right now. Let's not talk about. We'll talk about this privately. We're not talking
because
about this
I said I didn't talk to you, and then they said, whatchamacallit, that they I was like,
maybe if they my mother doesn't even go on Facebook. No, get off the phone. We're trying to do a show.
Hey, we're doing a show right now. We'll call you back. All right. Tell mom too. All right, bye.
Good enough. Let's get back. Let's close out the show.
People, I tell you,
I know.
Every time we do a show for 6 years, these people, they always call.
It's always mom and dad. Remember back in the day,
24 hours in a day.
Remember we're at the studio. Remember we're at the studio, and mom and dad would be and we have the phone on the loudspeaker too. So and then mom would be calling or something like that.
What do you want? I just want to know what you wanted for dinner tonight. Oh, we're not worried about it. It's Friday, Mom.
I'm gonna go to Antonio's. What do you want?
Just give me a nice panini.
Man doesn't even.
Sammy stopped trapping. I'm like, you want to get the chicken parm?
No, I always get the chicken pesto panini, bro.
Yeah, but then we split because then I get the Sammy one.
I'm not splitting anymore. I'm gonna take my.
What's mine? This is why my partner in crime is a good partner because we split.
Good for you. Good for you when your partner in crime.
Appetizers, we just get 3 dinners and we split.
And soon you're gonna be like this. Okay, here comes the train. Do. Here comes the train. You're gonna feed them too and stuff. Yeah, soon. What are you gonna? Here comes the airplane. All right. So, do you have a problem with this list?
No, I don't have a problem. I think it's
If you had to make one change, if there was a change to it, realistically, what would make your change?
Realistically,
yeah.
The only thing that's saving the Giants from being bad is the last 2 weeks. So,
Okay.
Are
the teams that are bad in the bad category?
The problem is their quarterback's an issue.
Who?
But the Browns, but they could be in that above average.
That's what I said.
But so could the Jets. Because the 3 quarterbacks that they played this year.
Can you say that about the Steelers? Can you say that about the Steelers too?
No.
Well, look at the Steelers, man. They've I mean, I don't care what anybody says. TJ Watt to me is the second best player in the world, only behind Patrick Mahomes.
Myles Garrett's pretty nasty, bro.
He is, but TJ Watt is very, very disrespected. People still want to always. TJ Watt is disgusting. He literally wins them football games.
Where do they have the Steelers right?
That's the most valuable player, TJ Watt. He wins. He's won 2 or 3 games this year by himself.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Steelers. I can't find them.
Like, that's what I'm trying to say is that he's unfreaking real. This is what TJ Watt's doing. I get it. Parsons is great. Garrett's great, but TJ Watt is unreal. That seems like it's a 2-team race right now in the NFL. TJ Watt or Myles Garrett. I know people thinking Micah Parsons, but TJ Watt and Myles Garrett each and every week. We're 95. Oh my goodness, what is TJ Watt's number too? Do you remember what TJ Watt's number is? 90. Where 95 and 90 are each and every week. And Micah Parsons, I get it. But he's been quiet.
So they got the 49ers game, they got absolutely destroyed.
Well, we know that.
And then they got crushed by the Texans 30-6.
Yeah. And then he's won the game. He's
lost to the Ravens.
He's won the game against. He's won 2 or 3
literally
games.
the Rams should have won this week. They just cut their kicker, who missed 3 kicks this week.
Oh yeah, I had him in my other league, so now I had to release my kicker.
Mayer?
Yeah, he's the number 3 rated kicker in fantasy. I had to release him.
He used to kick for Dallas. Never missed against the Giants though.
Let's close out because if Ted is not available because of scheduling problems, let's talk about it quickly. Close out with the New York Jets and New York Giants. What do we expect
we could do Thursday. I'm around Thursday.
Oh, you want to do something Thursday?
Well, we can see what happens. We can talk a little bit about the game.
Well, you gotta let me know. You gotta let me know.
I mean, really, what is there to talk about right now? The Giants. The Jets need to win more than the Giants do because I feel like they're actually no bullshit. Both teams need to win because the NFC absolutely right now is an open game. I said it last night. Minnesota's win last night saved their season. Depending on how the rest of the season goes,
that's what I said.
They could be a 7 seed. That's
Justin Jefferson's definitely coming back. That means with that win, Jefferson's coming back. They go 2-5. That changes a little bit. The question
is, I don't think they trade Cousins. I don't think you'll see a move like that in the NFL because that doesn't happen. I don't think you're going to see a Devontae Adams trade. I don't think you see a Kirk Cousins trade. I don't think you're going to see a big time guy get traded. I don't think Mike Evans. I don't think Mike Evans gets traded unless someone really because I think teams still value the draft picks.
I still believe that, especially what happened yesterday with the Eagles making that move, knowing that was one of their major weaknesses for a team that doesn't have a lot.
For a team, 49ers need some offensive line.
I think the 49ers can look to make a trade. I think the Bills. I think the teams that are all in that contention of trying to
second or third round pick, they could take a Dory Jackson.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like teams that are, especially what happened yesterday, that's going to propel other teams, especially in that Super Bowl bubble or a team that's right on the cusp of being in that Super Bowl bubble. Like the Ravens. Ravens can use another weapon, whether that's a running back or a receiver. I said it. They go get Devontae Adams. Trade him a first, trade him a third. You go get Devontae Adams. Good luck stopping the Baltimore Ravens. Good luck. That's all I'll say. The Lions could also make a move. Now they just lost Marvin Jones Jr. Maybe they go add another receiver.
Don't need to make a move. They don't need.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they add somebody defensively. Okay, maybe they add somebody defensively. I'm just saying. There's still so many names, big names out there that don't seem like they're going. Like Mike Evans. This Kansas City. I get it. Travis Kelce just had another unbelievable game. Like, well, what else is new?
They need a receiver.
They need to go get a number. I mean, Rasheed Rice starting to maybe get a little more involved in the offense, but they're missing that.
Judy?
I mean, that's the name that we've been hearing a lot. It could be traded.
The worst teams are Carolina, which they don't have a first round pick. I don't know if they make a move. Arizona.
They've been looking for a receiver, which I don't know what draft
what does
picks.
Arizona do with guys like Buda Baker and other people? They're 1-6. I feel like they're not
Do
going
the
nowhere.
Raiders clean house?
Denver 2-5.
I think the Denver Broncos are the team that's going to make a lot of big moves. I know the Giants don't seem like they're going to make any moves in sense of fire
I feel
sale.
like the Patriots, that win last week kind of saved them a little bit because here's the thing:
Titans and Broncos.
Everyone is still realistically in play for the playoffs. I mean, the Raiders are 3-4.
The only team that's not in play right now is the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. I mean, Denver.
I get it. They're only probably like 3 games back or something, but realistically, those teams look like they're looking towards the future.
Yeah, because if I look at the AFC picture, I'm just got the conference schedule and standings right up in front of me. Right now, the bottom 3 teams, is the Chargers, Patriots, Broncos. 2-4, 2-5, 2-5. I mean, then there's Titans too, but they're both on buys. But I don't think the Chargers make any moves. I think the Chargers. I don't know what the hell the Chargers.
I don't know what the hell they're gonna do either because that team is just that's just a major disappointment.
The Colts, unfortunately they lost their rookie quarterback. They're not playing for the playoffs. Raiders, I don't know what they do. They need to get a quarterback. So I feel like, but you want Devontae. So maybe a guy like Hunter Renfrow gets traded instead of a Devontae. I get it. It's not sexy, but it's another key piece to maybe someone's offense.
So when I look at the current landscape, I see 4 teams that you can automatically already put out of the picture. Me personally, Broncos. The Broncos, the Titans, the Panthers, and the Cardinals. I say the Broncos and the Titans because I feel like those 2 teams are on the verge of a full-on fire sale. I see those 2 teams as the most active in the sense of trading. You already saw Byard get traded, one of their best players. Derrick Henry. Would not be surprised if he's in another uniform by next Halloween. Or next week, I should say.
Here's the thing is no team's going to trade for a running back, I don't feel like. I don't know what
like
his contract
said, he's a free agent after this year. He's a free agent after this year.
What happens with Eckler? Eckler's Giants, Saquon. These guys are all on 1-year deals.
The Raiders,
Josh Jacobs. They're all on 1-year deals.
Tony Pollard.
Yeah, that's why your interesting thing of bringing Derrick Henry to Dallas is very interesting.
I told you, man.
Just to bring in that
don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Derrick Henry
gives up like a 3rd round pick for Derrick Henry. Maybe a late second, probably maybe a second because the second round pick is going to be late because you assume they're going to be somewhere in the playoffs. So that's a pick like 56. Maybe
I'm just saying. Don't be surprised if Derrick Henry's in the Dallas Cowboys uniform next week.
I don't know what the Giants do. I'm very interested to see what the Giants do because
I would like to see the Giants maybe add a lineman or something too. Maybe
the Giants get beat the Jets. It's this week. So it's next Tuesday's the trade deadline. Next Tuesday
from today. Halloween.
4 o'clock. So we'll do something next Tuesday, of course. And talk
Halloween
about
episode.
Yeah, we'll do something for Halloween.
Yeah, if I just look through the teams, like the Eagles already made their move. The Chiefs need to make a move. The Niners can use another
Well, you're looking for guys that where the contracts are in their last year of the deal, veteran players, teams that are.
What did the Bills do? What if the Bills were to hypothetically lose to the Buccaneers this week and they're 4-4 at home against a Buccaneer team that's starting to look like more realistic now? What does Buffalo do?
Your guess is as good as mine, friend. I swear to God, I have no idea.
Because Josh Allen's contract, like we've been saying, Josh Allen's contract's going to go into effect next season, and then they're really going to be screwed. And you feel like you have a time ticking bomb, a ticking time bomb at a receiver at receiver and Stephon Diggs. Like you could tell he's on the verge of just completely going bonkers if this really starts to spiral down. I mean, I'm just looking through all the teams right now on the list, and I'm just thinking, could be a very active trade deadline. I really feel like with that move yesterday, I feel like that's going to be a domino effect. Teams are like, okay, the Eagles just stacked up. We need to get to them.
Well, here's the thing: you got to see how this weekend plays out. Realistically,
I still think the Chiefs need to go get a receiver. So, I mean, they got Hardman, great. I mean, congrats, but they need to go try to find some Jared Jeudy. If you added Jared Jeudy to that offense,
is Denver going to trade him inside the division?
I get it, but if they give him a 2nd-round pick, are you going to say no to it?
Cortland Sutton, Jared Jeudy.
I would rather go for Jeudy in the sense because I feel like he'd make more sense for that offense. I
No, I
don't.
get it.
Sutton's nice. I get it, but Judy is you can use him in that type of offense. You can use him in multiple facet ways.
What
I've
does
been
Atlanta do?
well.
They're a quarterback away from winning that division.
Kirk Cousins ain't going anywhere.
No,
Who's the other quarterback?
They're not going to trade Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, they're not. He's going, especially with them winning last night. Especially with them winning last night, that changes everything. No, I mean Ryan Tannehill.
No, Ryan Tannehill just got hurt.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
That's why the tankathon could happen with them. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the NFC South, man, is a wild division because there's no clear-cut team right now. You'd probably say the Falcons, but you don't trust Ritter whatsoever.
I don't know who's the best quarterback in that division.
Damn, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr sucks. Let's face the facts.
That's so depressing.
Baker Mayfield's not good enough. We've seen that. The other kid, first-round pick, Bryce Young, is not there yet, and there's no weapons surrounded by him. And then Ritter's like the Riddler. He's good. He's funny and not. It's not.
Ritter
good.
is like the Riddler. Wow, wow, Ted.
Wow, did you think of that one all by yourself?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Wow, Ted, did you think about that all by yourself? Shut up, Brent. Shut up, Brent. I don't know. It's going to be a wild trade deadline. I really do feel like this is going to be because this league is so wide open, man. Is there really 8 weeks? Last question. 8 weeks. Is there really a clear-cut team right now that you're like, that team's going to the
team. There's not one team, but you could definitely, I think, our Super Bowl caliber teams. I think if you were all looking, because I think people would make arguments for the Cowboys, even though the Bengals record doesn't show. I feel like they would make, but I feel like people make an argument for the Cowboys. I guess because they're the Cowboys. But
are you changing your Super Bowl prediction?
I don't remember what my Super Bowl prediction
Bills
was.
Against the Niners.
Oh, Nikes. And then I had
mine was the Bengals and Niners.
You know what? Why not? I'm going to keep it. Of course, I'm not going to change it because here's the thing. I talked with T last night, my coworker, and I'm like, the NFL is such a ebb and flow type of weird. Like 3 weeks ago where it's like, we're going to crown their ass and crown them. It's like we're making the 49ers like the best team ever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they lost 2 weeks in a row to the Browns and the Minnesota. So it's like, really? How good are they? And like, ESPN was having talks. It's pretty elite. Is he like? It's like no. He's just really good with a lot of good players on this team. He's not elite because
he's probably Dak Prescott.
Because we all know if Mahomes or Herbert or Allen or Burrow or Jalen Hurts, if Dak was on that 49er team,
he's probably Dak Prescott.
You're winning that game last night.
He's probably Dak Prescott.
That's probably it. But Kirk Cousins outplayed Dak Prescott then last night because Kirk was legit last night.
No, I get it.
So. The Bills have a lot of issues, but it's weird because you know what? You were talking, the Eagles don't look that good, blah, blah, blah. They're up and down. The Chiefs, the Chiefs haven't lost since the first week, so they just keep winning, beating everyone. The Jets have played better. The Browns have an issue with quarterback. The Bengals are getting hot. They're coming off a bye. I feel like Burrow does really good off the bye. I feel like he's never lost.
Well, it's a huge game this week.
There's probably a stat off that. And then the 49ers lose 3 in a row. Now, what's your thought process on the 49ers?
3 in a row. Lost 2.
What if, like I was joking with T last night. I'm like, watch the Redskins. I don't care what I said. Watch their Commanders beat the Eagles this week. Like they're home. They're pissed off. Jonathan Allen's freak out. Like weird game. Like just something weird. Like 24-21. Like win a weird game. They always play the Eagles tough. I don't know. Maybe that gets them going. Like, and then you're like, oh, really? Who's really that good? I mean, I don't think there's a forefront team like, oh, this team's the best. You could say the Chiefs are playing the best right now. Last week we were talking about the Lions. And then all of a sudden the Lions got their ass spanked, and it's like, well, how good are the Lions?
Well, that's why we got to sometimes just pump the brakes on teams like.
That's why this league is so week to week.
Yeah.
If we see, like you said, if you see a couple teams this week, like this, like I said, Minnesota wins last night. You're like, how good are the 49ers? Because their pass defense looked like atrocious last night, and they didn't get one sack on Kirk Cousins last night. With all that great defensive line guys. So it's like
we'll see.
And then Purdy was under pressure, and it's like that ain't the defensive line for the Eagles. So and then 2 weeks ago we were like Dallas is awful, 49ers are so great. So that's why we'll talk in 2 or 3 weeks and we'll be like, yep, this team's the new hot team of the that's what the league is about.
They're the flavor of the month.
One thing you could say consistently though, and it seems to be a thing, is the Chiefs just find a way to continue to win, even if it's ugly. They just find ways to win. I mean, what are they 5-6-1 right now? Whatever, it doesn't matter. They just keep winning.
Quick, let me.
And you know what? If they have Kelsey and Chris Jones, game 1, Do they lose against the Lions? Probably not.
Probably not.
So they're probably undefeated.
And the Ravens could be undefeated
we're
too.
complaining about they don't have receivers, they don't have enough playmakers.
Well,
I'm
like I
just
said,
saying.
as long
I'm
as
just
Mahomes,
saying.
like I said, as long as Mahomes is there and Andy Reid and company, they'll always be in games and they'll always be
Someone
probably
might
the
want to
favorite.
guard Kelsey. Just guard Kelsey.
Yeah, it's still it's freaking amazing how every year we're like, oh yeah, that he's their only weapon, yet still goes off, absolutely off on every team. Quickly before we sign off, NBA's tonight, Ted. NBA Finals winner, MVP.
Yeah, I have not a clue.
If you had to take a guess, Ted, you're a sports guy. It's
I
not
know,
that hard.
I
It's
know,
not that
sir.
hard. It's not that hard.
Well, I see. Here's the thing with what just happened a month ago already. Now I feel like in the East, it comes down to two teams. It's the Celtics and the Bucks.
Okay.
I think everyone else, because of what's going on in Philly with James Harden, I've listened to all the stuff. That's such a joke.
Forget about
Whatever,
him.
I
Don't
don't
please
even
don't
care.
get me.
It's just
Don't get me. Don't get him. Don't get
Yeah.
James Harden.
I'll take the Celtics over the Bucks in the East.
I'm going Lakers Celtics. Lakers Celtics, and I got the Lakers winning it. Of course, I'm taking my Lakers. Of course, I'm taking the Lakers. And the MVP, I'm going to be saying until he actually wins one, because that's how I feel. My boy JT, Jason Tatum, winning the MVP this year too.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. Did the Warriors make any big moves this year?
Yeah, Chris Paul.
Okay, so like I said, big move, so that doesn't matter. I think the Lakers are dangerous. I'll take the Lakers Celtics championship.
Wow.
Celtics win in 7.
I'll go with the Lakers.
I just think it's going to be really hard for the Nuggets this year to repeat. It's really hard for teams to repeat. I feel like, now that everyone's coming after, the Suns are dangerous, but I don't know what to make of that big three. If they're all playing and they're healthy, that's a dangerous team with Durant, Durant.
And who's your MVP? We'll talk more about the NBA, but I just wanted to get quick of what you think. Who's your MVP?
Giannis.
I thought you were going to say like Luka or something.
No, because I don't think his team's good enough. I mean, like
people think Dallas could be a dark horse to come out of the West. So
I don't really see it. In the sense of
what the hell are you even looking at right now?
NBA. It was just a thing of like what guy would ask, like who would ask for a trade, like first. And it was Embiid 5, DeRozan 2, Trae Young 1, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, the NBA should be great.
It should be exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
opening night
tonight.
Spurs will be fun to see with Wembanyama. I got it right. Good for me.
Can you spell it now?
I got it right. Pronounce it. I'm not going to try to spell it now.
Victor Wembanyama.
Victor. Victor. There you go.
Fosachi. Fosachi.
No, I mean, like the East, I thought the Bills would have made moves, or the Heat. I just feel like the Heat not being able to make any big moves this offseason.
Not getting Dame was a huge hit for them.
I just think it's a hit. So right now it's the Celtics. Celtics got Porzingis. And they got
Drew Holiday.
Oh, and Drew Holiday. Love it.
We'll
love that big four. And then the Bucks, Giannis, Middleton, Brook Lopez, and Dame.
So I got Lakers Celtics. Ted's got Lakers Celtics. I got the Lakers winning. Ted's got the Celtics.
I think the East is just easier to choose the top two.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like the NFC.
Even though, injury concern, I think it's those two teams. And then the West I feel like it's wide open. Dallas could be dangerous. Lakers are definitely going to be dangerous. They bring their whole team back. Maybe LeBron gets rejuvenized. Hopefully Anthony Davis plays more than 12 games. Nuggets should be good. They got their whole team coming back. Clippers. That's another team. I just don't know what to make of the Clippers. Like with Kawhi and Paul George. Like what happened?
We'll talk more about the NBA.
The Suns, the big three there.
We'll talk more about this. There's
a lot of good teams out there. The West is much more interesting in the sense of competitiveness, because like
absolutely. And you get the best.
I didn't even just mention the Warriors.
And you get the best. And you get the best foursome in the entire game back tonight. And I'm not talking about players. I'm talking about the TNT crew. Ernie, Kenny, big old Charles. And big old check.
I didn't even think about like Memphis. When John comes back.
Nah.
What about the Timberwolves? Wolves.
I love Anthony Edwards, man. I really do. There's a reason why Minnesota. I mean, I think they're going to trade Karl Anthony Towns at one point this season because I think it's going to all they're going to try to fully go all in on Anthony Edwards. They gave him the big contract. That's the guy they're going to build around. Maybe have him and Gobert as the two, and then try to maybe get some assets if you traded Karl Anthony Towns to, I don't know, the Knicks. The Knicks are looking to try to get with Joel Embiid, an offer that I was.
Knicks need something.
Knicks are going to try to make a move this year. They're going to try to go after some big name player, whether it's Embiid, whether it's Karl Anthony Towns. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe it's DeRozan. We'll see what they try to do and add pieces to a team that got a nice bunch of players coming off of a playoff loss to the Heat. So the Knicks are there. We'll see. They're a couple pieces away. Can they add a big star? We'll see. I know today's a Tuesday, and Newman once said that Tuesday has no feel. But Newman, I must say that you are wrong, because Tuesday tonight is going to hit a little differently for sports fans. Game 7, who's taking on the Texas Rangers? Is it going to be the Diamondbacks, or is it going to be the Phillies? Ted, I'll ask you that final question. Who wins Game 7 tonight, D-backs or Phillies?
Phillies.
Are we just saying that because baseball is desperate that they're desperate to have the Phillies?
But I'll tell you, the Diamondbacks.
Well, last night we said home.
Bro, what a story about them guys. Like, honestly, seriously.
That's what happens when you draft well and you find some nice, solid pieces that work for your franchise, and everything takes care of it. Maybe the Yankees can learn from some of these teams, like the Rangers, who have been, Rangers and Diamondbacks, who have been pretty bad for the past 10 years. Guess what? Are on the verge of a possible World Series matchup. Just saying. So Tuesday, what a wild Tuesday it's going to be. Game 7, Phillies, Diamondbacks. I want to go with the Diamondbacks, but I'm like, baseball would be so bad. But who cares about the ratings? The better team's going to win. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with the Diamondbacks, because I don't want to see Philly win either.
Schwarb's with the walk-off.
Imagine him or Harper just doing it in that crowd. That crowd is going to be electric. Plus,
Corey Reynolds with the walk-off home run.
Plus, like I said, the NBA is back on TNT in just over an hour and a half. We'll get the LA Lakers taking on the defending champs, the Denver Nuggets, and then you get the huge showdown tonight, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker against the Golden State Warriors. Can't wait for it. Can't wait to see the best crew back in all of sports. Yes, I said it. Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Ernie Johnson back too. I can't wait. It's good to see basketball back. Good to see that sports is fully in effect. You got hockey too. Man, what a time. We just need some football. There's probably football on too. I think there's a college football game on.
There is.
It's beautiful. Beautiful time, man. Beautiful time. I think we're going to sign off. Ted's, I don't know what Ted's doing. Ted, you there?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to finish, bro. Just scrolling through Kansas City, making sure
All right.
everything was.
Mom's is calling again. Ladies and gentlemen, Mom's is calling, so when Mom's calls, we have to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next episode. Enjoy opening night, enjoy Game 7, and enjoy another great week of NFL and college football. We are Keys to the City. We are out.
You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.